I'm Pam Hiller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert. I'm here today with the lovely Erica, AccuQuilt's marketing specialist. Quilters, are you looking for a challenge? Are you trying to find a block that will push the limits of your quilting skills?
Well, look no further, because the Go Courtyard 10-inch finished block on board design is intricate and beautiful and might be a little unapproachable if it wasn't for this die.
I agree. Okay, so think about that, quilters. Bob dies make our quilting bucket list even more realistic. Now, there's so much you can do with this die, but the Go Poinsettia Table Runner is one of my favorites.
Mine too, Pam. You know, you can download this pattern on our website at AccuQuilt.com, but keep in mind it's an advanced pattern, so be ready for a challenge.
It is. In fact, this particular pattern requires Y seams. So my first pro tip is that you want to read the pattern all the way through.
All the way through.
Until you start, before you start. The second pro tip is you want to make a test block. So here on the front were some of the test blocks that I made, and you can see I kind of bobbled here a little bit. Here I got better. You really want to, before you start into your good fabric, make a test block so you know how to sew the pieces and how to press them. Make sure you're comfortable creating the entire block.
That's right. Now, the Go Courtyard die is a 6x24 die board. So that means it'll fit in any of our cutters, even a studio cutter with the appropriate adapter. Now, make sure you also have a 6x24 mat, because this is going to give you your best result to have the mat size that matches the die size.
Absolutely. Now, quilters, this pattern has multiple blocks, but today Eric and I, we're just going to show you how to cut and sew that central courtyard block right here, okay? And we're going to go over how to put it together.
Right.
And then the remainder of the pattern at the end. Now, this die is divided into different sections, and it's really important that you understand how they're divided. So we screen printed all the letters. Isn't that beautiful?
It's wonderful.
Okay. So you're going to notice we have an ER, which stands for E right, and an E1. These go together. ER2 and an E2. Okay, so one goes on the right side and one goes on the left. They're mirrored images, basically.
That's right.
And then D2 is going to go with the 2 sections, and D1 is going to go with the 1 section.
That's right.
This is why you want to make a test block.
Exactly.
Okay, and then all the rest of the pieces are also divided. Notice, Erica, we got all these great notches in here. So when we go to put this arch on the outside, it's going to work together perfectly.
Yes, trust us in this. This is one of those times, like Pam said, read your pattern and follow your directions. Now, this is fat quarter friendly, right?
It is. It is.
Okay, so that would probably give you the right color scraps. You'd be able to work with it. You know, but work with your scraps if you want to, and it doesn't have to be your finished color. Your test block can be really in anything that you'd like. So if you want to try other colors, go into your stash, or even go to AccuQuilt.com and use our Go Quilt application to help you figure out the colors that you'd like to use. This would be a perfect time to use that with all the colors involved with the block.
Absolutely. All right, Erica, let's put some fabric on this die. Now, I've already prepped my fabric and subcut it. You want to make sure that when you're cutting sections D and E, that fabric is facing up. Now would be a really good time to pause the video so that you could download the pattern from AccuQuilt.com and follow along.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead. We're getting our pieces. Pam prepped our fabric for us.
I did.
So we've got what we're doing now. This A, you know, you're probably going to, you're not going to need as many. This is the center section. You only need one.
Right. And you have a couple of options that we'll talk about in the end. You could either put fusible on that and just put it down in the center of your block. You could do some needle turning if that's what you wanted to do.
Right.
Or you could use our free embroidery download.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, so Erica, the lovely Erica, has put all of our fabric on our die.
Got our mat on top. I want it to line up. Okay.
There we go.
So let me go ahead. I'm going to get this cut for you, Miss Pam.
Great. And remember, quilters, you can use all of our Go cutters and our studio cutter with the appropriate adapter.
Okay. All right, perfect. Here
All right,
you go.
we're going to give it a little love because static's built up as it's coming through the cutter. And we're going to slide that mat, don't lift.
I'll take it out of your way.
Thank you, dear. Okay, now quilters, it's really important that you keep these pieces in order. So as Erica and I kind of pull back that fabric, you're gonna see the shapes.
There we go.
Here we go, ta-da, ta-da. Okay, so the first thing we want to start with is we want to sew these two shapes B and C together. Now, as you can see right here, okay, here's the test block. Always make a test block.
Always make a test block.
Okay.
Especially with this one.
Yeah. Here's the piece that's going to fit into here, right? This is where the Y seam is going to go.
Right.
So right here, we have to stop sewing 1/4 of an inch.
1/4 of an inch.
And I'm going to tell you to mark it with a pen because in your quilting head, you're going to kind of guess it.
Yeah.
And that's what I did the first one, and it didn't work so well.
Okay.
All right. So now, oh, and Erica's so excited because I'm here. She's here, and I'm going to pin.
She's going to pin. She never pins. I'm the pinner.
I am. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do that. And then look, I have my cute little 1/4 inch ruler.
Okay. I'm just going to.
Oh, there we go.
Gonna
Fix that.
this out. Yeah, I know.
There we go.
She got so excited she was using a pin. She just couldn't stand it. Okay.
There we go.
So now we're going to mark that 1/4 inch. And basically we want to mark that 1/4 inch intersection point right up here at the top.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll let you do that.
All right. So you don't have to mark your whole seam if you don't want to, although it may be easier to do that, but you want, like I said, that intersection point. So I'm going to, there we go. And I want to be sure I do it so you can see it.
And quilters, you truly do want to mark your pieces. Okay.
Really do.
Don't eyeball it.
Okay, there you go. So you can see we've got a really nice bold X there because X marks the spot, right?
Yeah. So now I'm going to sew from this end to this end, and then I'm going to stop where that X is because we want to stop from that 1/4 inch seam so that we can add the insert. Okay. All right. So here we go. And you want to make sure, quilters, that you're sewing a true 1/4 of an inch. Okay.
You know, and one thing that I do is I keep a little guide, a little seam guide handy with my, right next to my sewing machine. So if I'm starting a project like this, I go ahead and measure that right away so that I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we'll take out our pin. And so look, see, here's where that 1/4 inch seam stopped.
Yep.
Okay. And then you want to press your seams open. Okay. It's just going to help you with the bulk. Right, here we go.
Okay.
My little hot shovel iron here. Good job.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, now the next pieces we're going to sew we're going to make the insert here.
Okay.
So Erica, tell us about how we have why do we have D's and E's?
We have D's because the D's are going to be this is going to be that center piece for you. So that's
so here we're
going
going
to
to
go
do
up in the
E.
center.
Okay.
And you're going to want this, we've got our point down towards the bottom. We've got that rounded dog ear up in the top, and you'll see why in a minute.
Okay.
So now we need our right side one.
Oh, here we go.
Okay, so our right side, wait. Yep, because if I was looking at it, this would be the right side. I'm upside down and backwards.
And ER.
ER. Okay. So then this side is going to be up. Now you're going to know you're going to know you have these in the right position when you have your curved dog ears all up at the top and you have those notches up at the top. So those notches to the outside of your curve are really key.
Right, because that's how you're going to add that framed border.
Right.
Okay. All right.
So now again, we need that 1/4 inch mark here. So if you give me the ruler back,
I will.
I'll mark that for you.
Okay.
Okay.
And again, take the time to do this the right way. Otherwise, quilters, you're going to just be so frustrated.
And really, I will tell you, there are so many options with this block. If you have design software, this is a classic block. If you've got EQ7 or EQ8 and you work with AccuQuilt, you can find this on there in their block library. And that'll really help you come up with some design options like you see here. Okay, so we've got these two. So your first one, we're going to go ahead and pin these two together on this side. And again, you're going to see those points are going to line up and that rounded dog ear is going to line up. And I'm going to put a pin because it's really easy to get confused on what you're doing at this point.
Yes, you want to make sure I only build one block at a time.
I would suggest that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because otherwise, you know, sometimes life gets in the way.
Well, and once you get your rhythm down, now the nice thing about this is it is just the one that you need in the middle for this table runner. And we're working with some nice basic blocks on the other side so that it can really shine.
Okay, and now I'm going to tell you to press this seam open as well.
Okay.
Okay, and the reason we're doing that is just you're just going to reduce that bulk. Okay, so here we go.
And Pam and I both like to press to the dark side, so if we tell you to press open, it's usually a pretty good idea.
Yeah, I'm a big press to the dark side person.
Okay, so that's the one side. Now we want the other piece on. And again, we're seeing why we've got that curved dog ear, right?
Right. So basically we're making mirrored images.
There you go.
Perfect. Okay. Listen, Eric and I would love to come to your house and help you sew this block together. We're kind of good at it. We did a little test block.
We did a little testing on this one. You can tell already, I think.
Okay. Oh, here, I'm gonna trim these down. That'll make you crazy. Okay.
Perfect.
Perfect.
All right, we're gonna press that one open too,
Yep,
right?
and we're gonna press this one open too.
And then we're gonna get ready to make a little Y seam magic.
Yeah. And quilters, if you know Y seams are a little intimidating, just practice. Okay. There's lots of videos out there on how to make
The
white
secret really
seams.
is just doing the marking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on here. I'm gonna take this piece off.
Okay.
Oh, here. All right. All right. Now, look. Ta-da.
There you go. So now Pam's ready to set this in, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So, again, our dog ears are going to be our best friend. So, do you want to go from the outside in?
Yes, please.
Okay. And you're seeing this line up.
Right.
give
So
you a
where
pin.
we marked it, that's where we're going to stop sewing, because then we're going to turn it and finish that Y seam.
Okay. There you go.
Okay, you ready?
Da-da-da.
Now is the time to like throw up a prayer to the Y seam gods. Okay, here we go. All right. So right where that X came together, I am going to stop sewing.
Okay.
Okay.
And sometimes I even backstitch just
I do too.
to be on the safe side. So then we want to sew the other side. So we're still going to go from the outside in. We're just going to flip this over. And again, you can see how that specialized dog ear, we're going to line that up. We want to line the whole thing up perfectly.
Right, so you don't want to press yet.
Yep.
Yep. This is so slick.
Okay. Pin me.
Pena, that's your thing.
All right. Once you get a couple of these under your belt, then you're going to be in really good. Now, the other thing you want to do is be sure that you take this piece and pull it out of the way, because you don't want to get that in your seam allowance.
Ask us how we know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you kind
you
of want
go.
to make sure that there's nothing impeding that. All right. And then I'm going to just sew right down to where that seam stopped before. And they're just going to meet.
And I have to say, when I did this block, it goes together so well. So look at this. We're going to open that up.
Oh, ta-da, ta-da. Here, we're going to press it for
give
you.
it a little press.
Okay. I'm going to press it here.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you, quilters, you want to use your real iron when you're pressing this. I mean, I have my little shovel iron and I love it, but this is going to look great. So look at this, okay? So this is the first block that goes right here, okay? So you're going to continue to build this together.
Right.
You're going to sew more pieces together so that it all comes together. And then I have them.
Do you have the edge
Yes.
pieces? Okay.
Okay. So these pieces are the corner pieces. You only need 4 of them. I cut 6. Okay. So when you get ready to put these together, okay, what's going to happen is you're going to sew your whole flower together.
Right.
Then you're going to sew all 4 pieces together.
And you can see it really starting to take shape, and it does look like a flower. It looks
It
like
does.
a zinnia or a poinsettia.
Yeah.
Or,
it'd be
could
so
do
pretty in zinnia
a
colors.
sunflower. We're kind of sunflower season
I
right
like
now.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so these are going to line up right here.
Yep.
You're going to see how they're going to fit perfectly. So we're going to tell you to sew this outer portion together, right? To make the whole frame.
Well, and I think frame is the right term. When you use that before, it just made so much sense. So we're we're building that center, and then we're gonna sew all the 4 frame pieces together.
Yep.
Then you're gonna sew those all, put those all together.
Right. So you're going to put right sides together and pin like Erica.
Yes.
Every time you find those notches, that's where
Pin
you're
like
going to pin.
that.
All right. So don't you love it? Isn't it a beautiful block?
It is. It is. So continue, follow the pattern. Again, the rest of the blocks are going to be really easy. We're going to put those basic blocks together on either end.
And you're going to need your 8-inch cube for those. So you're just going to need 3 shapes. You're going to need shape number 6 and 5 and 4. Oh, I guess you need 4 of them and 2.
And 2.
So you're just going to use your cube system to create these side blocks. And then after you're done, you're just going to sandwich the top with the batting and the backing and quilt as desired, right?
Exactly.
All right, quilters, just imagine this beautiful runner on your holiday table this year. And it won't take long to make because at AccuQuilt, we help you cut time
So you can quilt more.